It's been a minute, but now it's time for No Limits. Thank you for coming back here to the Crypto Bliss community. Welcome back to our Crypto Bliss Spotlight session, Monday evenings, you beautiful community. Thank you for being here with me once again, and I truly appreciate it. You guys, I do apologize for just not getting out any videos for you properly over the last few days, but I've had my brother here, and I will be bringing that up in a little short moment. We've been setting some cool stuff up for you guys as well in the back end, all to do with astrology and crypto. So I'll touch base on that in a short little while, but make sure to stay tuned right till the very end of this live session. I'm going to bring to you some crazy stuff that is going to dictate to us how crypto will change forever. So thank you for being here with me tonight on the Crypto Bliss community and the channel. Let's start off with some of the wreckage of the news, because right now, Bitcoin, as you can see here, has been pulling back hard. But now, pullbacks are normal. Normal. In Espanol, it's normal. Okay, we're 15% down. We could go up to 30% down. That could take us all the way back down to 73K. I have said that to you a few times on the channel. And if you think it's going to go down to 73K, I don't know. Actually, let me know what price you think it's going to go down to, in this little pullback. Because right now we're not breaking the lows here, but we're breaking the highs, mi amigo. That's all I can say. And just really, if we had to draw some lines up there, we would see that. You can see here on the daily chart over here, you can see that we have a very solid higher high section over here and lower lows that are just reaching lower lows. You know, could we break this low right here, which is this zone right here? If we break that zone, my friend, we're coming down to 82 to 80K very fast, possibly even down here, where most of that support is at $72,000. Now, do I think it's going to go that far? No, but if we had to do a pullback, and as I said, that 30K level, that 30% level, is 33%, ironically. 33% is always a very good universal number to follow. We actually then have a very interesting scenario here, coming back down to 72K. Look, my personal view, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, just continue to buy. I'll buy tons more down here, guys, because that's a massive discount there. Okay, but you do see here that the stochastic RSI is bottoming out, and it's bottoming out on the current level. And usually when it bottoms out, you can see that it pumps up, bottoms out, pumps up. So maybe we're due for the next little pump up, and the next little pump up takes us up to like 120, 125K. What do you think down in the comments below, my friend? Well, let's tap into this terrible, shocking, disturbing news. Well, Bitcoin needs a sharp bounce at 88K. And as the S&P 500 echoes a COVID-19 crash. I'm going to show you that that could possibly be on the cards here. And if we were to do that, my friend, we would see Bitcoin, and not only Bitcoin, all global assets take a massive dive during this time. Now, could that be a liquidity flush and a liquidity grab? It absolutely could be on the cards. Could that be massive manipulation? Absolutely, it could be on the cards. Could that be destruction, war, etc., that is busy happening outside in this wonderful world that we live in at this point? Absolutely. So the interesting thing here is that this person here says, short term, it's a bearish overreaction as less jobs equals more leeway for rates to stay high. They have not done that in history. They have not ever kept rates high when there's a bearish overreaction to jobs, less jobs in the market. Okay, the rates will come down, and they will be forced to come down because of other global nations across the world. But among jobs numbers like today actually means the bull run can likely go a lot longer than thought. Yes, it could. Okay, absolutely it could. But check where we at this point. A flush, and a tiny little flush. We've had that tiny little flush already. And right now, it looks as though we're actually building that momentum right here. Okay, you can see, cool, we're in the flush moment. We're at that moment right now. It's already happened. Okay, you can see the pullback in the S&P 500 has already happened. Okay, it's happened multiple times. Are we going to get something that continues to happen? Oh, I don't know, guys. Possibly if we do break that level. So remember, I drew this cup pattern here with a little handle and a little head and shoulder that continue up. Well, that was the target. We have officially reached that target. So why would we not have a pullback? But what I can say to you right now is that that pullback in equal equivalency to a COVID-19 little crash here, mate, that's about a 30% pullback. Wonder where a 30% pullback could take us to on this chart. 618 is only 16%. Could we see a pullback right to the breakout here? Possibly. I don't think we're going to get less than that. I don't think we're going to get more than that. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm going to leave that right there for us because I don't believe it's going to go below that at all. Could have a flush out. We could just have a flush out down here to the 786 level and then continue. That would be enough liquidity in the market to then start to push the S&P 500, okay, just on this pullback to this baseline, okay. Essentially, what are we looking at? We're literally looking at an S&P 500 potentially, I don't know, in the next decade at a 15,500 price. That is 3x from where we're currently at today. That is huge amount of liquidity coming into the S&P 500. Ridiculous amounts, okay. So imagine how much of that would be in the top seven of those companies, which have been the motivating drivers of the growth in this cycle. So regardless of the terrible news that we get to see here, that perhaps we get a pullback, perhaps there's some bearish overreaction on jobs and etc., but we're possibly seeing another bounce that comes soon. Target rate probabilities for 29 Jan Fed meeting is 93% that it will come to between 4.25 to 4.5 basis points, okay? The yield can't really go way higher, and the initial response is already captured. Very likely we'll see an upwards trending market in the next 10 to 15 days on Bitcoin and the altcoins. This is true, my friends, and I'm going to give you some more evidence in a short little moment. But what I would love for you to do right now is down in the comments of my live session, okay, right here for me, please, where is it that you were in the world on New Year's Eve? Okay, I would love to know where you were in the world. I was here in South Africa, in Somerset West and Hout Bay. It was just absolutely phenomenal. I really thoroughly enjoyed my time. You can see I've got some nice brown color. I feel refreshed. I was cleansed and purged in the sea. So happy full moon in Cancer, actually. Yeah. And that's very interesting, right? Because there's a lot of astrological energy coming into this space right now. So what I do want to share with you is that my brother and my dearest brother, who is absolutely an incredible astrologer, he is going to be coming on to my show, onto Crypto Bliss community, onto our community, my friends. And he's going to be sharing, and this will be for next week's live session. So would you like the video live or would you like the video recorded, actually? Either way, the video is still going to be available on the channel in the community, whether you come to the live videos or videos. Okay. So we are going to be discussing the entire journey of Bitcoin on its astrological chart and why it had certain mishaps at, say, the bear market times and the pumps during the bull market times. We will also then be talking and discussing some of the fundamentals from the birth of Bitcoin to, which we'll discuss in a short little moment in a different perspective, lighter perspective, and the direction that we could see Bitcoin going in the future. Because the stars don't lie, my friend. The stars give away the truth of this universe and this realm. And if you want to know more, you best be going over, subscribing to my channel, okay, right now, so that when I do this video, and if I hear from my community down in the comments below, are we doing this recorded or are we doing this live? Okay, recorded or live, just one of those words. And we will then do that video for you together. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get that video. You are not going to want to miss it. It is going to be exactly the tools that billionaires use to get wealthy and stay wealthy. Okay, so if you want to be wealthy in 2025 and beyond, subscribe to Crypto Bliss Community and let's get going with the rest of this content in today's video. So as you can see here, okay, the Bitcoin quantile model. This is from the Real Plan C, just a sneak peek. I'm still refining the layout and will be adding more details to the chart. This will serve as an all-in-one guide for both the short-term and the long-term outlooks of the quantile Bitcoin model. Which quantile do you think we'll reach and when? If you like it, please share. Well, I dig it. If you guys like it, make sure to subscribe to the Plan C as well. Go check it out and shout out to the Plan C for this. So today, if we are referring to the quantity of Bitcoin that you own, okay, today it should really push up to 301K, 3 months from now, 324, 6 months from now, 348, 9 months from now, 374, 12 months from now at 400K. All right, that is massive. That's sitting up all the way in this region up here. And if you have a look, it's very similar to the rainbow chart at this point. Now, if you are at these quantities, this dictates how much Bitcoin in terms of the dollar value will that be. So this is the Bitcoin and this is the dollar value. So, and where would that be at the price that you have that Bitcoin? So if you like that, I dig it. I think it's great. It shows us exactly where Bitcoin is going. There are also a lot of signals here which most aren't looking at. So dot high, okay, is a little schmackaroodles down on the stochastic RSI, okay, creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, creating higher highs and higher lows, okay, which is phenomenal for bullish continuation patterns. We are here at this point currently on BTC at the moment, okay? These are the indicators on BTC. Most of the signals really are flashing here for us right now for the bullish momentum, okay? Doesn't look like it's ever been the halving. Clever if Satoshi tried to line it up though. It's a liquidity cycle world. Bitcoin lives in it. Now, as you can see here, base, okay, on the high yield spread is this indicator over here, and the MACD crosses over, and high yield spread, boom, market pumps. Same thing again, boom, market pumps. Same thing once again, and these vertical lines are the halving points. Same thing again, boom, pumps. Same thing again, boom, has a small pump. Same thing is currently happening. We are now seeing the spread on the China 10-year Dixie high yield spread is about to cross over, which means that we are about to see massive Bitcoin liquidity come into the space across the world throughout Bitcoin. Okay, if you don't own any Bitcoin yet, you need to get some Bitcoin down here. Even though my trades are beaten from today, okay, my Ethereum actually entered in today. I put a buy limit order on Ethereum. Although I'm going to probably wait for tonight's candle to close here on Bitcoin to see where we're at. And then tomorrow, maybe when we sit on this white box, that'll be my next buy entry. Okay, I need to see where we're at here. And if we do break this box, that absolutely means we're coming down to the next level. And that next level is very likely the 73 to 72,000 level. There's no doubt about that, guys. So you need to be prepared for anything. a major flush out, just like what happened in the COVID in 2019. You can see here that they forced people out of the market on the return up. But once that force was down, it literally continued up. So are we currently at that exact same space? Are we being forced down? Because we kind of are rolling over here, except there is very strong support on this 90,000 level. So right now, you can see that we are hitting resistance at the 1.618 level, which is the 103,000 level. We're just knocking on that door, and we're literally getting ready to make a move to the upside. So it's, the more times you knock on the door here, look at that. The more times you knock on the door, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times we've knocked on the door. More times you knock on the door, you're going to break through eventually, right? So the next move up there is very likely between the 130 to the 156, maybe 180K level. Okay. That is the range. You can see here how I've drawn this months ago for you. And I'm not saying that, I have a genie in a lamp. I'm just saying to you, it's quite simple to follow the way that Bitcoin works when you do actually just look at the charts and study the charts. Just a teeny, tiny, teensy, weensy little bit, because that's all it takes, my friends. And then you can see cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle, Bitcoin over the long term continues to go up. So who actually gives rocks what happens today? Whoopsie-doo. Buy some Bitcoin, wait 5 years, you'll be in profit without a freaking doubt. Okay, I've done that for myself. I've done that for my family. I've done that for some of my friends. I've done that around for people. And this is the thing, okay, is that if you have the patience, because it's not about your timing the market, it's about time in the market, okay? Meaning that if you bought some Bitcoin down here and you're still in it up here, you've made this gain, this gain, this gain, this gain, plus this gain, which means you've made compounded added value to your wealth and your portfolio, and you've probably and likely 100x at the very least your Bitcoin value if you bought down there and you never bought again. I'm just hypothetically giving you the coolest scenario out there. Doesn't mean it happens, okay? But what really does matter is that you can see the Bitcoin bears are definitely not ready for what is about to come. The bears should be absolutely crapping themselves, because when we're bullish in Bitcoin, okay, and I've shown you this chart countless times, when we're bullish in Bitcoin, we only have little pullbacks, and then we have major pumps. Let's go and have a look at the other cycle, okay? In fact, all the way from down here, okay, all the way from down here, double bottom. Once again, we hit a double bottom. Pump, little dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, okay? Pump, dump, and pump all the way there, and then massive dump after that. So Bitcoin has the pumps and the dumps, and there is volatility in this asset. But you can see with the ETFs, with potential nation state and international state Bitcoin reserves, perhaps, and some nation states are already doing it, some nation states are buying it, businesses are buying it, we've bought it, I own it. And this is why you need to know how much Bitcoin is truly left and is truly available for us on the market. But before I do that, right now you can see there's a bottoming out. That's your time to accumulate. You have your halving point, and usually that's when the bull rally starts. Continues for X amount of days. I've showed you that in this chart countless times. Here's the average of the breakout of the all-time high. Usually the market goes for about 300 days or 9 months. The same thing here, okay? 134 plus 344, so that was 460 odd days. Here it is 295 days plus 221 days, so 400 odd days is possibly about the average. We literally have only been in the escape of the breakout for officially a 70-day period. So we have a incredible 280 to 300 more days of bullish action. But what I do want to say is that Bitcoin will lead the charge, okay, when it does carry on its rally. That will ignite an Ethereum rally without a doubt. And that's why I say to you right now, you can see Ethereum is building a massive head and shoulders pattern out of this massive rising wedge pattern, which is extremely bullish for Ethereum. So right now, Ethereum has had major resistance at the 786 and just above here. I think it's just literally going to sit here for a day or two at the previous all-time high. And honestly, because people know that the bull market is just going now, I don't believe that Ethereum will stop, and Ethereum will likely then come up to, at the very least, the 1.618 level before it sees any strong pullback, which means that from where we are today to that point is nearly double your money, okay? Let alone us pushing up to the 2.618 up here at 11,000, the 3.618 at 15,000, and who knows, maybe it hits the 4.618 this cycle, and we hit the $19,000 mark on Ethereum. My friends, that's massive gains from where we are. That's a 5x gain on Ethereum, the second biggest asset in the crypto space. Benevolent blessings to you, my brother. And we can see here that right now, this is not a time to sell your Ethereum. It's not a time to sell your Bitcoin. So whoever is selling their Ethereum and their Bitcoin, I don't know why the market is going down right now. Well, we do, okay? But whoever's selling that, sorry for you, my friends, because you're about to miss out on opportunity. And yes, we can have small little pops down. Whoop-de-doo, man. We're on the way up. We are on the way up. And you must not be blindfolded by the institutions and the news and all of that energy that we see that is existing out there in the world to distract you from your crypto bags and making yourself financially free. And if you want to become financially free, you need to subscribe to my Crypto Bliss community. I have been sharing coins with you all of last year, previous years, for the entire channel's time, which coins are going to have the massive explosions coming into 2025 for the altcoin season and the altcoin market, because, my friends, we literally are at the point of massive, massive explosion, and there ain't nothing that is going to stop it. And so you can see here that on the total 3 crypto market cap, which is everything in crypto excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay, we have seen that we have been pulling sideways. So isn't this so interesting that years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, somewhere it must have been down here, I drew this arrow pointing up here that we would go up in this momentum, have a strong pullback somewhere at this point. I even said to this box here and pull down. So we really rallied hard. Then we hit my bottom level here, which I said would be my green line. You can see all the wicks pulled back up. We then bounced off of that, once again, like I pointed out on my arrow, and went to the white zone area. Okay, let's see what's happened here. We got the pull up on this point. We've got the pullback on this point. And then we got the rally on this arrow. We've got the sideways horizontal busy happening on this arrow. And not to say, again, that I have a lamp in my bottle, and not to say that it's going to do this. This is just an overall picture of where I believe the market will be going. Because honestly, it's probably going to be a lot more like punch up to the 618, pull back a little bit, punch through to the 2.618, pull back a little bit, punch through that, head to the 3.618, punch, pull back hard, and then maybe make one really killer rally up, like burst through this 4.618. I got no clue, my friends, but my arrows so far have been somewhat on track and somewhat giving us beautiful guidance. So make sure you pause the video and take a little screenshot of that if you do need for your own portfolio. Now, not only that, okay, we are seeing 2 patterns here. First of all, the pattern is a cup pattern, cup and handle pattern. The second pattern is a shoulder, and then the new shoulder, which has already formed here. So if we are to break out of that section, without a doubt, that's bringing us up to the minimum, the 2.618. So whether you like it or not, this is where we're going to see crypto pump. And the others are telling us the exact same story. We're at the same potential levels. A head and shoulder pattern, double bottom on the others, higher highs, higher lows, and potentially pulling us up through the Fibonacci. Don't lie, my friends. Okay, they give us an indication of potentially where the market will be going. Not exactly, but it's so interesting how exact it actually is. So if you want to know more about using the Fibonacci tool and how to use it properly, let me know, and I'll do a little bit of a tutorial video for you. Now, ETH-BTC is a very interesting scenario in itself, right? ETH-BTC is literally crapping itself. It is literally being obliterated at this point. So if you do own Ethereum and you're trying to trade it against Bitcoin, you're currently losing out on money, okay? Especially if you're buying ETH to trade into Bitcoin. That is a huge strategy of mine, and hence why when the markets are in the red, that's actually a really very, very, very incredible opportunity to buy whatever crypto it is that you're looking to buy and purchase in this market. Now, Ethereum at this point, as you can see, makes major pumps once it reaches this level, major pumps against Bitcoin. I could see us breaking out of this triangle, ascending triangle pattern, which is a very bullish pattern, okay, and actually heading up to the 618, which is definitely going to be a zone of resistance, possibly a strong pullback down here, and then maybe a continuation of the pattern. And the reason I say that is because if we go and actually look at the Bitcoin dominance, you can see Bitcoin dominance, once again, is pushing up. It is potentially going to try and retest the 61.18, the 61% level once again. We don't know, but for now, this is a bullish candle on an upward trend. The trend isn't over until it's actually over, okay? And we don't know when that is, but all we do know is that there will be pullbacks, there will be volatility. And the point is that on the Bitcoin dominance, you can see here that time and time and time again, once we traded and the Bitcoin dominance actually did break those specific levels, it always pulled back down to the 35 to 36% level on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, it's very interesting that our Fibonacci's are such beautifully colored rainbows, and they tell us where these specific levels are. And usually when Bitcoin dominance hits the very strong level of descending resistance here, usually we're heavily rejected and we have a major altcoin season. And that, my friends, is when you start to see these candles and the bull cycle really start to actually pump your bags and make you absolutely financially free, full of absolute just liquidity, health, wellness, abundance, and yeah, just a really good state of being in all states. So you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. According to this chart, we could hit 420K. I don't know. I keep telling you my target is 300K, okay? 300K. But honestly, my brother and myself, we did some analysis again yesterday, and I will be doing another video with him as well, besides for the astrology video, on where we have learned how to take profits from certain altcoins back into Bitcoin to increase your Bitcoin, what percentages you should take, and at what points should you take them. And it's all based on certain Fibonacci work and specific potentials to hit specific price levels like 420. Now, isn't it ironic that in the crypto space, we often hear 420 often relating to an incredible cannabis joint, okay? Now, the thing behind that is that cycles are cycles. All kinds of things happen. Bitcoin is the #1 asset in the world. You don't want to miss this opportunity. We could potentially go from where we're at 94,000, 3x to 4x, 5x, potentially this year alone. Why would you miss that opportunity to make that amount of wealth in your life? So don't miss the opportunity on getting Bitcoin. Use my Bybit link down below. Get yourself some incredible bonus deposits, okay, up to $30,000 deposit bonus. And you can come and trade Bitcoin. You can buy it on spot. Spot is better, okay? If you don't want to risk, you can do a small leverage on trade. You can do low liquidity leverage on trade. You can do whatever you like, my friends. But if you are going to trade Bitcoin, you actually do need, because of the price of Bitcoin right now, you need probably an estimate of about $20 to $25 to actually get into a 0.0001 Bitcoin trade. So if you want to trade other altcoins, you can use $1 is probably around the lowest point. Now, you can see here that this 4-hour candle is double bottoming, okay? And we are getting a very much a bullish signal on the MACD on the higher lows in that section. And the stochastic RSI isn't quite doing that, but it's somewhat doing it. So who knows, my friend? Who knows where the markets could take us right now? But what I want to do is take you to where I believe we could see the cycle end. Now, first of all, I want to share with you what Billionaire and Pantera Capital CEO says Bitcoin is going to do 2025, 2026. Let's hear.
You bet your life it's not going to zero?
I used to tell people it could definitely go to zero to try and be, conservative. I don't think it's possible now. 50 million people in the U.S. own it, 300 million people globally. BlackRock and Fidelity are selling it. Like it really has reached escape velocity.
But you're 745,000. I mean, I heard 13 million from Michael Saylor the other day.
I think it can go. It's going up 3 orders of magnitude since we launched our fund. I think it could go up a fourth, and that puts it at 15 trillion market cap, which it still seems relatively small versus 500 trillion of financial assets.
Did you hear that? 500 trillion of financial assets. Now, I'm pretty sure, and let's go to Bitcoin, let's go to Tether, and let's go put $500 trillion worth of assets into Bitcoin, because how much would one Bitcoin become? Okay, so that's 500 billion, 5 trillion, 550 trillion is 500 trillion. $500 trillion of assets, okay, into Bitcoin alone would give us a $25.2 million Bitcoin. That's one Bitcoin. And today, Bitcoin, you're going to hear me, I'm going to say it like a chicken. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is $94,000. And we're talking about your Bitcoin, if you buy one today at $94,000, is a massive discount to your $25,241,000 Bitcoin. Even your 241,000 Bitcoin is double what you have there, my friend, let alone the 25 million additional that you have in profit, in wealth, energy, storage. Okay, I think you get what it is that I'm saying now. So let's tone this down just a teeny tiny little bit. Maybe this market hits a $15 trillion market cap. That's a $750,000 market cap, Bitcoin price. That's a 7x from where we are today. And a $15 trillion market cap, as you can see on my total 3, now all of a sudden, and let's actually go to total 1, because on total 1, I said to you, my friends, that we could see between the 14 to $20 trillion market cap. So if Bitcoin is going to do 15 of that trillion, which is literally going to gobble it all up, there's really only like 3 to 5 trillion left on the total crypto market cap, which is what I'm saying here, is where we could end up in the total market cap, ironically, at $4.2 trillion, my friend, at the top of this Fibonacci level. So you see how all of the signals are pointing towards time in the market, not time trading the market, not investing in and out, none of that shit, okay? Time in the market. Patience will reward you with financial freedom because you took a step today to buy Bitcoin. And that is exactly why Bitcoin and crypto is going to change everything forever, okay? Because going forward, that's what's going to happen. If $500 trillion of assets, even $15 trillion of assets come into the space right now, that's a 7x from where we are, my friend. That's massive, massive, massive wealth increase. If you have only 0.001 Bitcoin, okay, your $94 goes to $800. It's not a lot, but geez, like, my friend, okay? Your 0.1 goes from 943 to 7,500, okay? If you own 0.1, your $9,500 went to $75,000. That's somebody, that's like 2-3 people's salaries in America for a whole year with $9,400. Why don't you get together with 3 friends or 2 friends, take $3,100, $3,150 each. Let Bitcoin do what it needs. Invest it into Bitcoin. Use my link down below. No financial advice, of course. And go and earn yourself all 3 of your annual salaries. I don't know how much you earn. I'm just saying, like, I know the average salary is like $25,000 to $30,000. That's a small amount of money in relative to what it is that I'm saying here. You could earn that just with Bitcoin. So in other words, Bitcoin is giving you your energy back while the Federal Reserve continues to print money that you have to work for. That money, my friend, is called dollars, which is where the growth comes in when the markets get printing. Don't you remember that during COVID, there was a massive print rally, which ended up giving us this massive rally in the S&P and so on here? We're going to have the same thing come about us very, very soon. And this is exactly why we need to be positioned. And you can see here that the Bitcoin monthly chart with RSI color coding, BTC has not even reached the ultimate hype or pump phase. The cycle has more fuel coming in the 12 months. Look at where we're at. Okay, we're at the red. We haven't even gone into the dark red. Okay, right here. We're not there yet. So only once. And then not only that, only once we start turning bright red or orange at this point, that's the time to get the fuck out the market, right? Get out. That is telling you to get out. You need to follow the signals and what the signals are telling you. So if you're not following the signals, my friend, I don't know how you're going to make money. Now, I did say to you that I would tell you about the distribution of Bitcoin and where we're currently at. Now, individuals like yourself and myself have about 57% of the world's Bitcoin. That is phenomenal. So we are in charge of Bitcoin and not the governments, not the nation states. So in other words, if you own some Bitcoin, you are a sovereign and financially free being. Yes, you might not feel it today because the dollar value isn't equaling that. But in the future, when Bitcoin equals if Bitcoin goes to a $500 trillion asset, that means one Satoshi will be worth $5. $5 per Satoshi? Wow. My friends, that is epic. Okay, so you can see our companies own 3.6%, ETFs now own 3.9%, governments 2.7%, not yet mined, only 6.6% left. Satoshi's wallet is about 5.2%. Miners are 3.4%. I would say, who knows what Satoshi will ever do with this? Maybe it's to run and operate the network. Maybe it's to pay for it. Who actually knows at this point? I'm not going to get into any of that. Maybe if you want, I can delve into that at some other point. But truly, this to me is like a burn of Bitcoin. Okay. And the BTC that's lost is also a burn of Bitcoin. In other words, the demand is going to continue to increase for this asset while the supply is ridiculously limited and continues to be burned by the lost BTC and Satoshi's wallet, because who knows if that will ever come back onto the market. And if Satoshi was to ever dump 5% of the Bitcoin back onto the market, Bitcoin will have a heavy drop at that point. But who knows why that would ever happen? Because if Satoshi made this, then who the flip knows? Who actually knows? But right now, Bitcoin is on its way to 13 million, to 25 million plus and beyond in the near future, my friend. And that's why this Nobel Prize winning economist, Friedrich Hayek, predicted Bitcoin in the year 1984. This is absolutely
law, language, money, the three paradigms of spontaneous institutions. Now, fortunately, law and language has been allowed to develop. Money has originated in the original form, but as soon as it was there in its most primitive form, it was frozen. After 200 or 300 years of coins, all governments put their hands and stopped any further development. Government said it must not develop any further. We were not allowed to experiment on it. Money hasn't been improved. Money has either become worse in the course of time.
It has become worse over time. And this is a message from 1984, my friend. We're now 40 years down the line, 4 decades of wealth erosion and wealth destruction. Listen to what he has to say here.
And what we have had since in development are matters of government inventions, mostly owned, mostly abuses of money.
I have directed Secretary Connolly to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets.
And I have come to the position of asking, has monetary policy ever done any good? I don't think it has. I think it has done only harm, and that's why I'm now pleading for what I've called denationalization of money.
How do you think?
Denationalization of money. In other words, you own all of your own money. You are your own bank, and you can take money and trade it, because Bitcoin is that. Bitcoin is an asset that can be divisible, traded at a moment on a flippin' from a cell phone to a wallet, to a computer, to a store, to a QR code. Bitcoin does it at this point, and I am confident that the Bitcoin technology will only increase going forward.
Think that it would work? Would the major banks such as Chase Manhattan issue currencies or gold coins issued, or how would it?
Well, the governments can stop the definition of money. They can hardly stop them from opening accounts in something. After all, in the modern world, hand-to-hand money, coins, and paper is no longer the most important. Credits and credit cards are a substitute. So I think we can forget about existing money and existing banks, and we gradually open a system of accounts which will displace money.
Displace money. So those little credit cards that you're using is displacing money, physical money, right? And that's why we now have things like Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, pay this, pay that, whatever the payment structures are, PayPal, you can pay with crypto. The choice is yours. If you want to use an intermediary that is centralized and captures your data and your ID and literally takes your blood sample and your kidney for a test and whatever, or you're going to want to get yourself some crypto, use my link down below and become off-grid from the banking system. You are your own financial instrument and your own financial protection. It's easy. If you want to learn more, subscribe to my community.
That's a fascinating concept. Maybe the unit one day will be known as the hype.
I don't believe that we should ever have a good money again before we take the thing out of the hands of government. Since we can't take them violently out of the hands of the government, all we can do is, by some sly roundabout way, introduce something they can't stop.
Introduce something. So introducing something they cannot stop, and that is Bitcoin, my friends. That's why nation states, that's why Trump, that's why Europe, that's why Germany, that's why everybody is afraid of Bitcoin. And that's exactly why you need to own yourself some Bitcoin, because it's going to continuously go up, okay, over time. And you ask me, well, the S&P goes up over time as well. Well, that's because money has to find certain places, and all eggs don't sit in one basket. So what we're discussing here is the return and the storage of your wealth. Yes, you can store your wealth in here, but look at these ridiculous crashes that this thing gets, the S&P gets, really, for no reason, okay? Like for a cool-off period in the market, because the big dudes want to take their money and buy a fucking yacht. Who knows? I don't care, but you should care by buying yourself some Bitcoin. And that's why I can tell you right now that Max Kaiser says they're dumping the US Treasury bonds. They're dumping whatever they can, and they're putting it into Bitcoin. We're going to see Bitcoin be the major winner in the sovereign debt collapse globally. That's how you get 200, 300, 400,000 per Bitcoin.
One way to deal with this is obviously raising interest rates to tackle inflation, an obvious move. But what is the answer to this problem, and what can the US Treasury and the Fed do right now to deal with this looming crisis?
Well, yeah, raising rates is what Paul Volcker did in 1980. When the debt to GDP ratio that was a possibility, and it worked after a massive debt raising of interest rates into the 19%, right? But the debt to GDP ratio right now is 10 times at least higher. So that's actually not going to work. There is no solution. That's why people are running into Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin's worth over $1 trillion now, why it's going to $10 trillion now, is that people are running for the hills. They're getting out of Dodge. They're dumping their U.S. Treasury bonds. They're dumping whatever they can, and they're putting it into Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin, we're going to see Bitcoin be the major winner in this sovereign debt collapse globally. That's how you get to $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 per Bitcoin. Everybody knows it now. Paul Tudor Jones, Stan Druckenmiller, Michael Saylor over at MicroStrategy. They're all openly talking about a speculative attack against the central banks. Borrow at that cheap rate, buy Bitcoin, and let them die. That's what's going on.
I love that. Although I would never want to take food off of somebody's plates. Let the banks die. They have stolen from you, and the Federal Reserve has stolen from you and your families and your generation. And they will steal from your families going forward if, my friend, you allow them to do that and to continue to do that. And the way that you don't allow them to do that is by owning some Bitcoin. You heard it yourself from Max Kaiser. He's also a billionaire. He owns loads of Bitcoin. He believes that Bitcoin is going up like crazy as well. Like, my target is 300,000. His target is higher. So we've seen some targets. Dan from Pantera is 750,000. Kathy Wood is 1.6 million by 2030. So we're saying 2030 is 5 years away from now, and we're going to see $1 million of Bitcoin. Holy shit, my friends. You're buying it at $94,000 today. Just saying. Hashtag just saying. Okay. So if you think Bitcoin is a Ponzi, have you checked the dollar? No, I guess not, because unlimited supply, not backed by anything, and is centrally controlled. Bitcoin has a fixed supply. It is backed by energy, your energy as well. No one can, in other words, your energy, because you work for dollars, which keep getting printed. So if you hold the Bitcoin, you own Bitcoin, and you store the value of increasing dollars in that same amount of Bitcoin that you're holding, where you don't have to work the same energy to pay for your living in your life. Okay, so that's why Bitcoin isn't a Ponzi. No one can centrally control it. It is a decentralized cryptocurrency, my friend. So you all thought Bitcoin was a Ponzi? If you're new to Bitcoin and crypto, don't be fooled. Okay. Yes, I might just be a YouTuber on the internet, but I'm saying to you, I'm sharing my life of experience with you over the last 5 years being in this market. Bitcoin is not a Ponzi, okay? The dollar is the true Ponzi. And that's why I would say to you, how people think it's like to hodl. It's like a float, like a walk in the park, and you just get somewhere and you just get to a price. Well, no, it isn't like that, okay? Look how many pullbacks I've said to you we have on the journey up. But all in all, if we go and look at the rainbow chart of Bitcoin, my friends, okay? If we go and look at the rainbow chart of Bitcoin, honestly, we truly are just magnificent. You can see that even though it's really massively volatile with hurricanes and dips and hell and trees and spiders and monkeys and dinosaurs and bears and octopuses and sinking Titanics and nuke bombs and electric storms and then finally you get to like some Bitcoin. Like that truly is what it's all about, like what it's like and what it's about. And this is why when you have a look at the Bitcoin rainbow chart, even though we go through these like really strong pullbacks in the momentum, you can truly see that in Bitcoin, with time and over time, you literally just go from the bottom left corner of the screen to the top right corner of the screen. And that really is just magnificent. You can see here, bottom left corner of the screen, top right corner of the screen. We're still going up for a very, very long time. And really, we should see 300,000 this cycle. I'm hoping on it. I'm betting. My bet's based on Bitcoin. And I will trade my altcoins into Bitcoin. I will do a video about that shortly for you. So make sure to hit that subscription bell on the Crypto Bliss community. And if you are subscribed and still with me here, make sure to make some noise. Hit the thumbs up, please. That would be truly appreciated. So don't worry. Yes, it's crazy world for HODL Bitcoin right now. But, okay, it's all worth it in the end. And Mr. Trump even gives you that burst of confidence because he's saying here that maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion worth of debt. So we're confident that even though Bitcoin's at $2 trillion, $1.8 trillion today, confident that they're going to pay off $35 trillion of their debt with Bitcoin, meaning they'll sell some Bitcoin at that point to cancel out their debt. That will be a massive pullback in the market. But this is why.
Because maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand them a little crypto check, right? We'll hand them a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
But how do you...
And that is critically important.
They think it's good.
And that is critically important to understand to us right now, that even from today's level to 35 trillion, okay, of wiped out, that means Bitcoin's going to be worth probably a couple hundred trillion in order for the US national debt to be wiped out of the 35 trillion that is pretty much weighing their economy down. Okay, so is this a way out for them? Who knows? You let me know down in the comments below. Do you think Bitcoin can hit a $750,000 this cycle? I don't know. You let me know. My personal target, as I said, is $300,000, which gives us a $6 trillion more or less level. But I do believe that Bitcoin probably hit an $8 to $10 trillion level. Yeah, who knows? Let's see. If you've enjoyed today's content, make sure to subscribe to the Crypto Bliss community. And thank you for being here with me today. I do truly appreciate every single last one of you blessed beings. Lots of love to you all. Take care and have yourself an incredible time.